Hello, my name is Xavier Cholet. I manage the Eco Discovery strategy for Japanese investors. I would like to tell you a bit more today about how we think is the best way to invest in the energy transition. We have the portfolio managers, including myself in this strategy, a lot of experience with environmental investing, more than 15 years. And I think over the years, the experience that we have gathered is really two main things. The first one is diversification when we invest across the energy transition landscape and not be very focused, for example, on renewables, because there are fantastic investment opportunities everywhere. And also it's important to be able to allocate our investments between one or another segment, depending on valuation, for example. The other lesson really is to focus our investments on companies that have very high barriers to entry, strong technology, and with that, strong profitability and cash generation. It's really important. This is one of the reasons why, for example, when we invest in renewables, we don't invest at all in solar panel manufacturing, because this is what we call commodity, which means a very low added value product with pressure on prices, and it's difficult to be very profitable. So typically, I think the best areas to invest for the energy transition is, of course, to invest in renewables, because it's a very important segment, but we find investment opportunities, solar equipments that are actually very profitable with some power electronics in it, and that make great margins with nice barriers to entry. Also, we have very nice investments typically in energy efficient technologies. For example, in our factories, for us, it's going to be about energy efficient products, and also what we call industrial software, which would be things like very advanced simulation software, which will provide, for example, for a plane manufacturer, it's going to skip all the prototyping phase and simulate everything that could possibly happen in the life of the plane. Very abrupt change in temperature, in altitude, light, thunderstorms, and it will tell you exactly what's the best aerodynamism for every part of the plane, the best material you should use, so you have a plane that is lighter and will use less kerosene. So these are really good companies with a lot of growth and strong profitability. If you think about energy efficiency in our buildings, typically it could be heat pump producers, energy efficient air conditioning, good insulation materials, smart lighting, things like that. And then another fascinating segment is electric mobility. And here, typically we like to invest in many different types of sectors, such as niche industrial companies that provide electrical equipment or the charging infrastructure. There are some attractive investments as well in automotive companies producing the electric cars. And then we find actually the best opportunities in the technology sector with either what we call power semiconductors, also the energy storage value chain, so the batteries that you find in all our electric cars, and also to store the solar energy or the wind energy that we produce, with all the supply chain, including lithium, for example. And then we have also new types of materials which are necessary, such as silicon carbide, with also great investment opportunities. I mentioned power semiconductors. I just want to say a word about that. Why is it important to invest in semiconductors? It's because we don't invest in any type of semiconductors like memories or microprocessors like Intel, but power semiconductors are what's needed every time we use electricity. And actually every time we change the voltage or go from alternative current to direct current, we lose energy in the form of heat dissipation. This is why your mobile phone charger gets hot, for example, or your computer or notebook, and we lose a lot of energy because of that. So these companies are the best tool we have to minimize energy losses. And really, in summary, I think it's very, very exciting to invest in the energy transition for the years to come. I'll tell you why. First of all, it's the longest investment theme I can think of because we know where we are going for the next 30, 40 years towards net zero carbon. And again, we know that the transitions I talked about towards renewables, which now make economic sense, or electric mobility or greener buildings, these transitions are unstoppable and we know they will happen. And again, these disruptions in all these industries, transport industry, energy industry, really imply huge winners and a disruption, which means a complete change in the growth profile of many of these companies. On top of that, we really can find investment opportunities, as I described before, that are very profitable, 2-3 times more profitable, typically in terms of cash generation than global equity markets. And that makes this type of investments especially attractive.